तो मैं तो बोलता हूँ मैं गुड आफ्टरनून जानवी गुड आफ्टरनून ओमकार गुड आफ्टरनून युता
Like I'm working.
yes students can you hear us yes am I audible okay good afternoon everyone so today your live class for social science will be taken by Noah sir. Here we are having Noah sir with us. He is our social science expert and he will be taking your class today for all the topics of history, geography, civics, and economics. So I hope you are having one notebook in front of you and take one pen with you so that whatever sir is teaching, you have to note it down, the important points, and you can ask your doubts in the chat section. Okay? So it's already 5 minutes late, so we are starting with the class. Okay, share this video link with all your friends so that they can also join. If they cannot join because of some students will be having tuitions and all, they can directly watch the recorded live video which will be posting on our channel. This video will be posted. Okay, so if you miss it due to some reasons, you can attend. Okay, so all the best, study well.
So hello everyone, let's start with the easiest topic of economics first. Introduction to economics. Okay. Let us first revise what is introduction to economics. It is the first chapter of economics. It is for 3 marks. Okay. Economics means basically economics means money. Okay. Everything which deals and relates with money is known as economic or economic activity. So our first question, which of the following action deals with economy? So any activity which is dealing with economy, that means any activity which is dealing with money is considered as action related with economy. So planting trees. So the answer for this is selling of goods. So as planting trees does not relate with money, education does not relate with money, going on trip also doesn't relate with money. Selling of goods. When you sell a goods, you receive a good amount of money. It's a profit. That is considered as an economic activity. Now, the second question. Which of the following is not an economic activity? Economic activity was an activity which deals with money. Now, which of the following is not an economic activity? So, any activity which doesn't deal with money. For example, the answer is mother teaching her son. And the mother teaches her son, did she receive any money? No. So, the answer for it is mother teaching her son. Which of the following is non-economic activity? So here again question comes, which of the following is not an economic activity? So answer for it is employee going on trip with his friends. So employee working on a project, when he works on a project, he receives a good amount of money. Again, employee going on a trip with his friend. When employees go on trip with his friend, does he receive any money? No. So the answer for it is employee going on a trip with his friend. So basically, any activity which deals with money is known as economic activity. And any activity which doesn't deal with money is not an economic activity. Okay? Next question. Which of the following is not a need? Need is considered as anything which is essential for our life. Without having that, we will not survive. So there are basically 5 needs: food, clothing, shelter, education, and health. There are 5 needs. Every person should have this. This is essential for the life. If we don't get these 5 needs, we will die. So the 5 needs are housing, shelter, clothing, food, education, and healthcare. So food is a need, clothing is a need, shelter is a need. Cosmetic is not a need, it is a want. Want is something that is not necessary or not essential for our life, but we can humans buy it for satisfying their needs, satisfying the wants, satisfying the excess wants. Okay. So here is an application for your Mr. Ram is working in Tata Limited company. He always brings his tiffin from house to eat during break. So that becomes Mr. Ram's dish. Now Mr. Ram is getting tiffin in his office to eat. So it is its what? Is it its need? Because Ram is getting food, and food is an essential commodity. That without having it, without having food, anyone can die, right? Now, the sixth one again is an application question. Mr. Kaldura always refers wearing designer and luxurious clothes, even when she is at home. Even so, Mr. Kaldura's, it is Mr. Kaldura's dash. Is it a need? No, it is want. Want is anything that we use to satisfy our excess wants or above the needs. Okay, we have only five needs that are food, clothing, shelter, education, and health services. Now, Mr. Yasir brought chips from shop and ate the chips. Classified under which types of good chips will fall? So there are four types of goods we are going to study. First is consumer good, second is capital good, third is public good, and fourth is private good. So consumer goods are the goods which are used for direct consumption. Capital goods are the goods which are not used for direct consumption but are used to produce a consumer good. Okay, for example, you take a tool or a machine which are used, which are not directly used, but it's used to produce a consumer goods. Similarly, private goods. Private goods are the goods which are provided by private firms and companies to the public, and we pay an amount for it. Now, public goods. Public goods are the goods which are produced, which are provided by government to public free of cost. Now, the example we take of public goods, a municipality park, a park which is provided by government to everyone, and it is provided free of cost. Now you read this question. Mr. Yasir brought chips from shop and ate the chips. Which type of good chips will follow? So he brought the chips and he directly ate. It is used for direct consumption. So it is a consumer good. One more question, Chinna. Capital goods is also known as intermediate good or producer good. Okay, so don't get confused if you get the option as a capital good or intermediate good or a producer good. Also, public goods is also known as social goods. Now the eighth one, Mr. Rehan is a manager in car manufacturing factory. He brings screwdriver to fix the screws in the car. Classify under which type of goods screwdriver will fall. So Mr. Rehan is the manager of the company. Now he is getting a screwdriver to fit the screws in the car. So the screwdriver is the actual consumption. Is screwdriver directly consumed by the consumer? No. It is used to produce the consumer good, which is a car. So the answer for it is capital good. The village government builds a public park in village for the people. Classify under which type of goods public park will fall. Okay. So the government of the village is now providing the village with a park. Now it is for everyone. So it falls under public good because public goods are provided by government free of cost. So who is the father of economics? It's a direct question. No need to think or application in this. Just who is the father of economics? Alfred Marshall. So, economic problem arises due to economic problems कसे जातात economic problem. What is an economic problem? Economic problem म्हणजे किती ह्युमन्सचे वॉन्ट्स असतात अनलिमिटेड असतात ह्युमन्सचे वॉन्ट्स केन्ना काबार जायना ते वाढत वयतात पण आता ते वॉन्ट्स फुलफिल करपाक सॅटिस्फाय करपाक आमचे रिसोर्सेस असतात ना आता आमचे रिसोर्सेस आमचे लिमिटेड असतात and humans wants it as unlimited, right? So to satisfy that want we have limited resources. So this is how economic problem arises. Human wants are unlimited. To satisfy that wants, they have limited resources. So economic problem arises due to scarcity of resources. It means resources are limited and human wants are more. This is a question. In what situation we have to make a choice between unlimited wants and limited resources? When it is not possible to produce all goods and services which are needed in the economy. Now, in economy, there are various people, and various people are going to demand various things. Human wants, as I said, they are unlimited. They cannot come as they wants water with that. But आता ते want satisfy करपाक आमचे resources किती आसा limited resources. So now we have to make a choice between limited resources and unlimited want. So we cannot when it is not possible to produce all goods and services which are needed in the economy. जेन्ना आमचे कडेन possible na all goods and services to produce. So we have to make a choice between unlimited wants and limited resources. When there is a need to make choice between unlimited wants and limited wants, it is known as economic problem. Okay? It is same as that first question. If the option is given in a very big sentence, it is an explanation. This option C is the explanation of economic problem. Okay, so don't get confused yourself. These questions are one and the same. Mr. Yash is buying a book from a bookstore. So Mr. Yash is dash. Now what he is? Mr. Book Yash शॉपार होता आणि बुक घेऊन येतात आता तो कोण झाला ऑप्शन पहिल्या प्रोड्युसर कन्झ्युमर इकॉनॉमिस्ट मॅनेजर मिस्टर यश बाजारात वयता बुक घेऊन येता आता तो कोण झाला कन्झ्युमर कन्झ्युमर इज द पर्सन buys the books or buys the product for direct consumption. Now he picked the book and he's using it. Means he book gets and he started using. Anything, any person goes and buys something for direct consumption is called consumer. Now, Miss Mahima is a manager of a factory producing orange juice. So Miss Mahima is dash. Now Miss Mahima is producing orange juice. Now someone is producing is known as producer. The someone who consume करता तो book घेता शॉपार गेलो आणि book गेलो he is known as consumer. Someone is producer produce करता he is producer. Okay. Basically the person who goes and buys something for direct consumption is consumer, and the person produce karta, the one who is producing the books, is making the books or making something, making the goods is known as producer. Now, dash refers to the capacity of a commodity to satisfy human want. So everything and सगळे वस्तू असतात त्यांची utility असतात. Utility to satisfy the human wants. Okay. Now, for example, we take a book. Book has a utility to satisfy human. Yes, everything in the goods has something to satisfy our wants. म्हणजे किती सगळे वस्तू आणि सगळे सगळे की तरी एक क्वालिटी असतात ज्यांना आम्ही आमचे हे what we call it म्हणजे wants satisfy that. So utility means capacity of a commodity to satisfy human wants. Okay, capacity of anything you need. For example, book. Book has a utility of satisfying human wants. Now, which of the following is not a factor of production? Again, I am telling this is an important concept. There are 4 factors of production, and there are 4 factors of production. What are the 4 factors of production? Land, labor, entrepreneurship, and capital. Land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship are the 4 factors of production. And on every factor of production, we receive factor income. Now, for example, at the business bundle, factor of production, business is to produce something. Other factors are for producing factors are. There are 4 factors गरज असते. पहिली इथे land, labor, capital, and entrepreneurship. For example, someone is building his business. त्याका पहिली land आहे, त्याका जमीन आहे आणि बांधकाम business झाले factor of production. दुसरं त्याका labor आहे, त्याचं काम करपाक मनुष्यच आहे. Will produce goods. So he requires a labor. It is a factor of production. Capital, the business start केला, business start केला पैसे जाय, पैसे घेण्यानंतर he requires a capital. Entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is a person who is itself. माझा business, I am the entrepreneurship. So every factor of production receives factor income. That we will learn further. So which of the following is not a factor of production? Land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship are the 4 factors of production. So wants is not classified as a factor of production. What is factor income received on land? So every factor of production receive a factor income. Meaning business मानला. माझ्याकडे 4 फॅक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन असतात. माझ्याकडे लँड असा, माझ्याकडे लेबर्स असा, माझ्याकडे कॅपिटल असा आणि माझ्याकडे एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप असा. दॅट इज मी माय सेल्फ. नाउ आता मला ते फॅक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन पे करून जाय. जरी पे केलं किती पे केलं तर एव्हरी फॅक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन हॅज अ फॅक्टर इनकम. नाउ फॉर एक्झाम्पल यू टेक लँड. आता लँड इज अ फॅक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन. So on land, what do we pay? Rent. So rent is a factor of income in land. Rent is a factor for land. Okay. Wages. Wage is a factor income for labor. The labor business सांगते का मी किती पे करता? Wages. There is a salary. Now interest. आता आमचे capital आहे. As I told you, capital we require to start a business. Capital आहे. पैसे झाले. पैसे पैसे आहे. We cannot have a large amount of money to start business. Bank. आता मी पैसे घेतले बँकाचे. आता मी बँकेत किती पे करून जाय? Interest. So that is a factor income for capital. Other entrepreneurship. I am the entrepreneurship. I am the businessman. So What is the factor income receiving for me? What will I get? How will I get profit? Okay. Four factors of production is land, labor, capital, entrepreneurship, and every factor of production receives factor income. Land receives rent, labor receives wages, capital receives interest, and entrepreneurship receives profit. So, what is the factor income received on land? So, rent. Land receives factor income as rent. What is the factor income received by entrepreneurship? What is entrepreneurship receives? Profit. So, dash is the purchase of goods that are not consumed today but are used in future to create wealth. So, dash is the purchase of goods. आम्ही एक types of goods आम्ही buy करता ते आम्ही आता use करचे ना. We will just buy and keep that, but we will not use it today. But we will use it in future to create wealth. What is it? What is the answer for it? Investment. Investment means you buy a good not to use for today, but you will use in future to create wealth. Okay. So this unit is for 3 marks. Everyone, you may get one MCQ or two questions, or one question for 2 marks, or you may directly get a 3 questions. So now we will directly move to the long answer of this unit. Small answer you can refer our after school website where you will get the short answers and solution and reasoning of this. We will directly move on to the long answer of this unit. Can you hear me properly? Is voice proper? You cannot hear me? Hello, hello. Is it clear now, everyone? Wait, let me try something.
Voice.
Okay.
और एक ग्रेड कपल चालू है
Can you hear me? Hello, hello. Can you hear me now?
clear no okay one thing itu kena so check out लगा सकते तो सब हमारे ब्रांड गेम से heavy na fan के दर What? Done? See if you can host the. Okay. Just ask them again.
Can you hear me properly now, everyone? Can you hear me? Okay. Start करेंगे. Now let's move to long answer. Now मी long answer start करूया. For short answers, you can directly receive आमचे after school lecture notes असतात तर तुम्ही पाहू शकता directly all the short answers in question and reasoning you will directly get it. Now आता मी करूया long answer. Explain the types of growth. It is very important question. You will get one question on explain types of growth. Either you will get an MCQ or you will get a एक MCQ येऊ शकता नाहीतर एक long answer येऊ types of goods असे. Okay. Explain the types of goods. आणि पहिली सांगला 4 टाइपचे goods असतात. Consumer goods, capital goods, consumer goods, capital goods, public goods and private goods. Consumer goods which are directly used for the purpose of consumption. म्हणजे जे डायरेक्टली पैसा आणि घेतात डायरेक्ट कन्झ्युम करतात त्या कंझ्युमर गुड goods जे आम्ही वयता बाजारात घेता आणि डायरेक्ट कन्झ्युम करता आम्ही कन्झ्युमर गुड फॉर एक्झाम्पल बुक पेन्सिल आता बुक घेतले बाजारात वयता बुक घेणं डायरेक्ट कन्झ्युम करता डायरेक्ट कन्झम्पशन ओके आता दुसरे कॅपिटल goods which are not used for direct consumption but it is used to produce the consumer good आता जे goods आम्ही purchase करता not for the purpose of consumption आम्ही घेता त्याचा आम्ही consumption यूज करना आम्ही किती यूज करता ते दुसरे कंज्युमर गुड्स असतात तेका करपाक आम्ही यूज करता ओके ते रेडी करपाक कंज्युमर गुड रेडी करपाक आम्ही ते गुड्स यूज करता ते आम्ही किती म्हणता कॅपिटल गुड्स ओके एज यू कॅन रीड goods which are not used for the final consumption but it is used for producing the consumer good for example you take machine and tool tools आम्ही पहिला असले मी टूल्स घेता तुम्ही यूज टूल आम्ही डायरेक्ट यूज करपाक घेता ना आम्ही किती घेता कंज्युमर गुड्स प्रिपेअर करपाक घेता आम्ही वडले इंडस्ट्री पहिला असले they take a lots of machines and but they sell that machine to us no they use that machine then to prepare the consumer goods and they sell the consumer goods आणि consumer goods असता it is used for direct consumption म्हणजे बाजारात विकता घेता आणि डायरेक्ट कंझ्युम करता now I already told capital goods is also known as intermediate goods or producer goods तुम्ही एक क्वेश्चन याद करा capital goods चा intermediate goods ची म्हणता आणि private goods ची producers goods म्हणता so you may get a question on if the question is intermediate good don't get confused yourself intermediate good means capital goods okay आता public goods म्हणजे किती आहे goods which are provided free of cost by government to the public म्हणजे किती हे goods आपण गव्हर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड करता फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट आम्हाला पैसे द्यायची गरज नाही गव्हर्नमेंट आपल्याला प्रोवाइड करता फॉर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट ओके these goods are enjoyed by everyone in the society म्हणजे हे goods गव्हर्नमेंट प्रोवाइड करता फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट and everyone in the society can use म्हणजे आता कोणी यूज करू शकतात ते विलेजन किती जण राहता पण ती सगळी यूज करू शकतात ते फॉर एक्झाम्पल ते पब्लिक पार्क आता गव्हर्नमेंट तुमच्या गावात एक पार्क बांधलं इट इज प्रोवाइडेड फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट पैसे घेतात तुमच्याकडे ना गव्हर्नमेंट फ्री ऑफ प्रोवाइड करतात and everyone can use it कोणी यूज करू शकतात तो पार्क ओके गरज नाही थोडे लोक यूज करतील ओके आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल पब्लिक गुड्स स्ट्रीट लाईट ना आता पब्लिक गुड्स आणखी सांगता पब्लिक गुड्स ऑल्सो बॉट सोशल गुड्स ओके now the private goods the private goods are provided private goods are provided by private firms and company the private goods is provided by different firms private firms and companies म्हणजे Tata Birla Reliance वेगवेगळ्या कंपनी असतात these are provided by private goods to earn money this provided by private firm to public in order to earn money म्हणजे these goods are provided by the private firm good देता आणि आम्ही ते पैसे देता so they have to earn money so everyone should remember all four types of goods चारही goods याद रखना चाहिए question ethanol एक MCQ ethanol and direct question to differentiate between consumer good capital good differentiate between public goods private goods ethanol एक question का MCQ है एक question तरी ethanol types of goods अच्छा okay mark this question as very important now आता ह्यूमन ऍक्टिव्हिटी म्हणजे काय ह्यूमन ऍक्टिव्हिटी the human activity is divided into two parts human activity दोन पार्ट्स आणि डिवाइड केल्या ओके ह्यूमन मीन्स वी आर द ह्यूमन आम्ही किती करता काय म्हणता ह्यूमन ऍक्टिव्हिटी आम्ही कोण ह्यूमन आणि आम्ही काय करता इट इज ह्यूमन ऍक्टिव्हिटी आता आपण तुका शिकयता सो इट इज अ ह्यूमन ऍक्टिव्हिटी द ह्यूमन ऍक्टिव्हिटी दोन पार्ट्स आणि डिवाइड केल्या किती इकॉनॉमिक ऍक्टिव्हिटी आणि नॉन इकॉनॉमिक ऍक्टिव्हिटी आणि तुका एमसीक्यू ने सांगितले जे बी ऍक्टिव्हिटी आम्ही पैसे जमा खातीर पैसे खातीर करता ते आम्ही किती activity आणि जे ऍक्टिव्हिटी आम्ही पैसे ना वी आर जस्ट डूइंग फॉर अ सेल्फ और फॉर अ लव असेच करता तेका मी किती म्हणता नॉन इकॉनॉमिक ऍक्टिव्हिटी आता पहिल्या इकॉनॉमिक ऍक्टिव्हिटीज डेफिनेशन वाचूया ऑल द ऍक्टिव्हिटीज व्हिच आर अंडरटेकन टू अर्न मनी इज कॉल्ड इकॉनॉमिक ऍक्टिव्हिटी म्हणजे किती जे ऍक्टिव्हिटीज आम्ही करता पैशाच्या खातीर ओके आम्ही जे ऍक्टिव्हिटीज करता पैशाच्या खातीर आम्ही त्या किती म्हणता इकॉनॉमिक ऍक्टिव्हिटी फॉर एक्झाम्पल टीचर टीचिंग इन स्कूल आता टीचर तुका स्कूलांत शिकयता इट इज अ ह्यूमन ऍक्टिव्हिटी ती आता तेका पैसे गावता ते शिकयता तेका पैसे गावता सो इट इज द इकॉनॉमिक ऍक्टिव्हिटी आता दुसरे पॉइंट नॉन इकॉनॉमिक ऍक्टिव्हिटी हे ऍक्टिव्हिटी किती करता पैशाच्या खातीर करता आम्ही असे बेस्टच करता म्हणजे आमका मोगान आमचे नाल्यार रिस्पेक्ट फॉर एक्झाम्पल मदर टीचिंग हिज सन जेन्ना मम्मी शिकयता तुमकां मम्मी पैसे घेता ना सो इट इज नॉन इकॉनॉमिक सगळे ऍक्टिव्हिटी जे करून आमकां पैसे गावता तेका आमी कितें म्हणटा इकॉनॉमिक ऍक्टिव्हिटी आणि जे ऍक्टिव्हिटी करून पैसे गावना इट इज कॉल्ड नॉन इकॉनॉमिक एक्झाम्पल यू कैन गिव योर टीचर टीचिंग अस इन स्कूल मदर टीचिंग हिज सन Okay. Okay. Now, explain any two definition of economy given by economics. तुमका हो question येऊ शकता. Not necessary तो एथलॉग पण येऊ शकता. आता ते एकदा तुमच्या टेक्स्ट बुक मी पहिला असेल तुम्ही खूपशे डेफिनेशन दिला. तर आम्ही तुमच्या खातीर दोन इझी डेफिनेशन काढून दिला. तुम्ही एनी वन डेफिनेशन करू शकता का? बरं. Professor Adam Smith also करू शकता. Economic is a science which inquires into the nature and causes of variation. Then Professor Leonard Robin. Economic is a science which studies human behavior as a relation between ends and square means which have alternative. आता हे डेफिनेशन तुम्ही काय चेंज करू शकना त्यांना क्वेश्चन विचारता डेफिनेशन तो असा तसोच करूंक जाय काय चेंज करू शकना डेफिनेशन तुम्ही टेक्स्ट बुक खूपशे डेफिनेशन दिला आणि इझी दोन काढून दिला तुमच्याकडे मी एनी वन करू शकतो. What is origin of economic? Don't focus more on origin. तो क्वेश्चन चलतो येतो ना. आता बघा. What is scarcity and choice? What is economic problem? This is one and the same. This question is one and the same. You can get as either what is scarcity and choice, or you can get the question as what is economic problem. Confuse आपची गरज नाही. It is one and the same. कोणते जर क्वेश्चन दोघांना कसं म्हणजे एक क्वेश्चन आला आन्सर इज द सेम. आता बघ human wants are unlimited. So we need to produce lots of goods and services to satisfy all these wants. But we have the limited resources. आम्ही पहिलीच म्हणता ह्युमनचे वॉन्ट्स असतात खूप असतात काबारूच जायना ह्युमनचे वॉन्ट केन्ना काबार ह्युमन्स आपले वॉन्ट्स वाढत केन्ना सकले करायचे वॉन्ट आम्ही म्हणतात आयज आमच्याकडे सिल्वर आसा पण गोल्ड जाय परवा डायमंड जाय म्हणजे प्लॅटिनम जाय आमचे वॉन्ट्स वाढत राहतात कमी जावचेच ना. सो ह्युमन वॉन्ट्स आर अनलिमिटेड. सो जेन्ना आमचे वॉन्ट्स अनलिमिटेड असता गव्हर्नमेंटाक कितें करपाक पडटलें जेन्ना वॉन्ट्स अनलिमिटेड आसा तेका खुबशे गुड्स एंड सर्विसेस प्रोड्यूस करूंक जाय न्ही. जेन्ना जितले वॉन्ट तितले गुड्स एंड सर्विसेस प्रोड्यूस करूंक जाय. आता ते प्रोड्यूस करपाक आमच्याकडे रिसोर्सेस आसा ना आमचे रिसोर्सेस लिमिटेड आसा. सो देयर इज अ स्कॅर इन नेचर. द रिसोर्सेस आर स्कॅर इन नेचर म्हणजे रिसोर्सेस लिमिटेड आसा. जेन्ना एक क्वेश्चन आयलो तुम्ही पॉइंट फॉर्म करू शकता. पहिली पॉइंट तुम्ही इनपुट करा ह्युमन वॉन्ट्स आर अनलिमिटेड म्हणजे ह्युमनचे वॉन्ट अनलिमिटेड आसा. सो टू प्रोड्यूस ऑल दिस गुड्स एंड सर्विसेस वी रिक्वायर टू प्रोड्यूस लॉट्स ऑफ गुड्स एंड सर्विसेस. पहिली पॉइंट तुम्ही इनपुट करा. ओ क्वेश्चन तुमका येऊ शकता. Very important question as a mark. First one तुम्ही इतलो बरा. Okay. Human wants are unlimited, so we need lots of goods and services. Oh याद रखा human wants are unlimited, so goods and services produce करून जाय. दुसरा याद रखा to produce these goods we have limited resources. Okay. तर ते produce करपाक आमच्याकडे limited resources असतात. Okay. Now this means it is not possible to produce all goods and services related to the economy. Hence, we require to make a choice between unlimited wants and limited resources. This is known as economic problem. So, जेन्ना वो situation येता आमच्याकडे तर ह्युमन्सची वॉन्ट्स खूप असता आणि जेन्ना ह्युमनची वॉन्ट्स अनलिमिटेड आसा आमकां खूपशे गुड्स एंड सर्विसेस प्रोड्यूस करूंक जाय. आमच्याकडे जावचे प्रोड्यूस करपाक कित्याक आमच्याकडे रिसोर्सेस लिमिटेड आसा. सो तेन्ना आमकां चॉयस करूंक जाय. You have to make a choice between unlimited wants and limited resources. This is called economic problem. Now question you have to mark these important points so you can include such points in your book. Okay. Done. This question now which points were marks down. Okay. Now differentiate between consumption and production. The consumption म्हणजे किये आता production म्हणजे किये आता आम्ही तुमचे एक नाव घेऊया. Someone for example will take Arjun. Arjun goes to market and he buys something. आता तो घेतली आणि he buys and he is having that. अर्जुनान गेला बाजारात गेला आणि चिप्स आणले and he is having it. Means what? Consumption. आता मी दुसरं घेऊया for example सिद्धिका. सिद्धिका गेले बाजारात सिद्धिका प्रोड्यूस करतात चिप्स प्रोड्यूस करतात ते करतात चिप्स घरा बसून करतात. So she is what? Producer. आता consumption. An act of a consumer. Consumption is an act of a consumer. आता आपण बाजारात गेलो चिप्स आणली आणि तो consumer. So consumption is an act of a consumer where he or she buys goods and services to satisfy their want. Where a consumer goes to buy goods and services आपले want satisfy करप. Consumption कोणाचो act consumerचो. Second कितें consumer goes to buy to satisfy the want. The production. If the consumption is an act of consumer, the production is an act of producer. Production is an act of producer. So, Here he produce of goods and services. Goods and services produce करतात. किती करतात? Produce goods and services. Consumers want satisfy जावपाक. Okay. Consumption is an act of consumer. Consumption कोण करता? Consumer करता. आता तो किती करता? तो बाजारातून वयता आणि goods घेता. किती घेता? आपले want satisfy करपाक. जालें consumption कावा. Production. आता production तुमचे किती? Production कोण करता? Producer करता. किती करता? That produce he produce to satisfy the wants of consumer. Okay, this is how you have to write. Now already this point I have explained. This question is important. You may get this question. Okay, explain factors of production and factor income. आता आमका कळूंक जाय factors of production किती आणि factor income किती. हांवें पयलींच म्हटला there are four factors of production and every factor of production requires a factor income. आता factors of production, how many factors of production मध्ये already told in MCQ. Factors of production किती आसा आमच्याकडे? Land, labor, capital and entrepreneurship. Okay, we have four factors of production. आमच्याकडे चार factors of production आसा. म्हणजे किती हांव जेन्ना बिझनेस बांदता आणि कोणी बिझनेस बांदता प्रोड्यूस करपाक प्रोडक्शन करपाक आमकां चार फॅक्टर्स जाय. हांव बिझनेस बांदता प्रोडक्शन करपाक चार फॅक्टर्स जाय. ते किती? लँड, लेबर, capital and entrepreneurship. Okay, now every factor of production requires a factor income. म्हणजे हे factor of production सपय तेंका आमी इनकम दितात, पे करतात. किती पे करतात तेका फॅक्टर इनकम. So for land we pay rent. लँडाच्या खातीर किती पे करतात? रेंट. आता आम्ही एक बिझनेस बांदलो लँड घेतले त्याचे आमी किती पे करतात तेका? रेंट पे करतलो. दुसरे लेबर आम्ही कामाक लोकां जाले. आता जेन्ना लोकां जाता कामाक तेका किती पे करता? वेजीस. वर्कर्साक आमी वेजीस पे करता. आणि एज आय टोल्ड कॅपिटल म्हणजे आमकां बिझनेस स्टार्ट करपाक पयशे जाय. आता आमी पयशे खंयच्यान गावतले? बँकान. आता बँकान आमी लोन घेता. सो लोनाक आमी किती पे करता? इंटरेस्ट. सो एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप एज आय टोल्ड हांव स्वता बिझनेस जाल्यार आय इज द एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप. सो म्हाका किती गावतले? प्रॉफिट. So याद धरा चार फॅक्टर्स ऑफ प्रोडक्शन किती? लँड, लेबर, कॅपिटल, एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप आणि एव्हरी फॅक्टर ऑफ प्रोडक्शन फॅक्टर इनकम गावतो. लँडला गावतो रेंट, लेबराक गावतो वेजीस, कॅपिटलाक गावतो इंटरेस्ट आणि एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप गावतो प्रॉफिट. डिफरन्शिएट बिटवीन मायक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्स आणि मॅक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्स. आता तुम्ही ऐकलं असेल की नाही ऐकून मला नाव तुम्ही सांगता किती. ओके, डिफरन्शिएट बिटवीन मायक्रो इकॉनॉमिक आणि मॅक्रो. मायक्रो म्हणजे किती? मायक्रो म्हणजे बारीक धाकटोसो एकदम स्मॉल आणि मॅक्रो म्हणजे किती? व्हडलो. मायक्रो म्हणजे मायक्रो ऑर्गॅनिझम्स धाकटे असतात ते मायक्रो म्हणतात. सो मायक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्स मीन्स धाकटे इकॉनॉमिक्स आणि मॅक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्स मीन्स व्हडले इकॉनॉमिक्स. सो यू कॅन इन्क्लूड द फर्स्ट पॉइंट. Microeconomics is small, macroeconomics is large. You can include first point as it is not mentioned over here. You can include. तुम्ही include करू शकता. Microeconomics is small, macroeconomics is large. Microeconomics, it is the main branch of economy which studies the economy of an individual. म्हणजे किती? मायक्रोइकॉनॉमी इंडिव्हिज्युअलची इकॉनॉमी स्टडी करता. म्हणजे फॉर एक्झाम्पल वी टेक वन पर्सन. आता तेजे इकॉनॉमी स्टडी करता. तर किती पैसे कमवता, किती पैसे खर्च करता. जेन्ना एक सिंगल पर्सनची इकॉनॉमी शिकता तेका आमी कितें म्हणटा? मायक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्स. ओके, फॉर एक्झाम्पल आमी घेवया कंज्युमर बिहेवियर. आता आमी कंज्युमर घेता तेजे आमी शिकता तेकाच शिकता फक्त कंज्युमर एकूच कंज्युमर शिकता तेका आमी कितें म्हणटले? मायक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्स. आता मॅक्रो इकॉनॉमिक्स म्हणजे कितें? इट इज अन अदर ब्रांच ऑफ इकॉनॉमी वेर वी स्टडी इकॉनॉमिक एज अ होल. आता आमी ग्रुपाची इकॉनॉमी शिकता. 7-8 लोकां घेतले तेका बसून शिकता आमी तेजी इकॉनॉमी. तेन्ना कितें म्हणटा तेका? मॅक्रो इकॉनॉमी. फॉर एक्झाम्पल national income, employment. Understood? So with this we completed this unit revision. Now we move to next topic. Now we directly we move to India's as a location. So India's as a location first MCQ करूया आमी. So MCQ नंतर basic गावतले what is the concept ते गावत आमकां. So see, India lies in dash hemisphere. India lies in northern hemisphere. आता कशे India lies in northern hemisphere? Important question. Market is important. आता आमी घेऊया. This is a earth. Okay, this is earth. And earth, there is one line that divides earth into two parts. There is one line that divides Earth into two parts. Which is that line? Equator. So remember this equator is a line that divides Earth into two parts. Southern hemisphere and northern hemisphere. वो क्वेश्चन येऊ शकता तुम्हाला एक्झाम okay? Dash is a line that divides Earth into two parts. So equator is a line that divides Earth into two parts, northern hemisphere and southern hemisphere. And India is somewhere over here. So India is in northern hemisphere. Okay. And the next question: which line divides India into two equal parts? Now, first question is which line divides Earth into two parts? So the line that divides Earth into two parts is equator, and the line that divides India into two parts is Tropic of Cancer. तुम्ही ज्यांनाही शिकता तुम्ही डायग्राम करून शिकू शकता, so it is easier to understand. Okay? So which line divides India into two equal parts? Tropic of Cancer. And the lines that divide Earth into two parts is equator. Lines that divide India into two parts, Tropic of Cancer. Okay? Directly, MCQ. What is the distance of India from east to west? Around at least 2,000 kilometers. Okay. Now, these questions are direct questions. Don't need to think more on such questions. India is dash largest country in the world. India is dash largest country in the world. India is seventh largest country in the world, and India is dash largest country in Asia. India is second largest country in Asia. You have to remember this. You can sometimes write India is seventh largest in world, and India is second largest in Asia. Okay? पहले तो कहा India is seventh largest in world, मुझे world and India is the seventh, and in full Asia, India is the second largest country. ये तुम्हें याद रखना. This question might can come for MCQ. मी confused जाऊ शकता. ज्यांना India is the largest country in the world आहे तो त्याचा आन्सर किती आहे 7. ज्यांना एशिया आहे तो त्याचा आन्सर किती आहे 2nd. याद उठले easy. Which of the following is not the neighboring countries of India? Now, आमचे neighboring countries आहेत. इंडियाचे neighboring countries खूप असतात. India that shares the boundary with various neighboring countries. आता question किती असं आमचं? Which of the following is not the neighboring country of India? आता त्याचे काय या दोन जे इंडिया कोणच्या आम्हाला neighboring countries boundary share करतात. तर आमचे किती असतात neighboring countries? अफगाणिस्तान, पाकिस्तान, भूटान, बांगलादेश, चायना, Sri Lanka, Nepal, Myanmar. So these are the some countries that India shares its boundary. So China aslo, yes, China aslo. So China is a neighboring country of India. Bhutan aslo, Bhutan aslo. Sri Lanka is there. So Uzbekistan is a country that doesn't share its boundary with India. Uzbekistan is not a neighboring country of India. How can you remember that? You have to make a diagram. Then the question I will remember the diagram. The countries okay? We'll learn into the next question. Which of the following is a union territory of India? India has various union territories. You have to remember all the union territories, okay? So, which of the following is a union territory of India? Pune is a union territory. No, it is a city. Bengal is a union territory. No. Kolkata is a union territory. No. Lakshadweep is a union territory. आमचे union territory आहे. किती असं Lakshadweep, Andaman Nicobar Island, then we have Daman and Diu, Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Ladakh, New Delhi, आणि आमचे असतात इथे. ते सगळे याद होऊन जाईल, okay? So, remember all the union territory. आता, in which northwest India share its boundary with? आता your question, application question. तर तुम्हाला याद होऊन जाईल. त्याच्याकडे मी काय करतो इंडियाचा मॅप ड्रॉ करतो रफली तुम्ही इंडियाचा मॅप ड्रॉ करून द्या ओके दिस इज द मॅप ऑफ इंडिया नाउ यू थिंक वेर इज नॉर्थ मग हे क्वेश्चन असा इन व्हिच नॉर्थ वेस्ट आणि इंडिया आपली बाउंड्री कोण शेअर करा नॉर्थ वेस्ट कसे कळलं आमका पहिली ड्रॉ करा नॉर्थ दिस इज साउथ दिस इज वेस्ट दिस इज ईस्ट आता नॉर्थ ईस्टाचे मध्ये किती आसा नॉर्थ ईस्ट साउथ आणि ईस्टाचे मध्ये किती आसा साउथ ईस्ट वेस्ट आणि साउथचे मध्ये किती आसा साउथ वेस्ट आणि नॉर्थ आणि वेस्ट मध्ये किती आसा नॉर्थ वेस्ट so the question is in which northwest India share its boundary with the northwestern कोणची कंट्री आसा ते याद उरले आमका okay so here what we here which are the countries over here so here we have Pakistan also we have Afghanistan so let us see the option what are the option Pakistan Afghanistan China both A and B so remember both A and B are the answers of this the option correct answer is this understood now other question is direct question. Sri Lanka is separated by the dash. Direct question. Don't need to think. Right? Think about the girls now. Which water body is in the west of India? Again, this is an application question. Which water body is in the west of India? The India's west water body which is India is covered with water bodies in entire three sides, right? परत इंडियाचा मॅप ड्रॉ करा. Roughly. पहिले देखील करा. तुला कमी गरज रफ इंडियाचा मॅप ड्रॉ करा. Remember, this is north, this is west, this is east, this is south. So in east, what is the water body India is having? Bay of Bengal. In south, what we are having? Indian Ocean. And in west, we are having Arabian Sea. So what is the question? Which water body is in the west of India? So my answer is the Arabian Sea. And the question was which water body is in the east of India? And the answer is Bay of Bengal. And the question was which of the water body is in south of India? Where it is Indian Ocean. Okay. Not important question. Not going to focus more on such question. See dates in geography. There is no dates coming for you. Only in history you will be getting some dates, but in geography no dates. But you still remember on what date Redcliffe line formed a boundary between India and Pakistan? So answer for it is 17 August 1947. Not much most important question, but still also remember. Okay. Which hills of Meghalaya separates India from Bangladesh? So there is one hills that separates India from Bangladesh. So answer for it is Garo Hill. Next important question. The territorial waters of India extend dash into the sea. आता मला सांगतो टेरिटरीचे मिनिंग आहे मग कवर असतं पण स्टिल यू विल अंडरस्टँड व्हॉट इज इट इफ दिस इज इंडिया this is India now all the resources property or all the anything what we want is under within other सगळे रिसोर्सेस आणि प्रॉपर्टी इंडियाचे बाउंड्रीचे भितर आसात ऑल इनसाइड इंडिया इंडियाचे भितर आसात इट इज अंडर हुज कंट्रोल गव्हर्नमेंट ओके सो ओनली द रिसोर्सेस अंडर द बाउंड्रीज अंडर द गव्हर्नमेंट नो द टेरिटोरियल वॉटर इज आल्सो वन कॉन्सेप्ट जे आम्ही शिकूया टेरिटोरियल वॉटर म्हणजे किती सो दिस इज द कोस्टलाइन ऑफ इंडिया एवरीवन नोस द कोस्टलाइन ऑफ इंडिया So we have to calculate 12 nautical miles. So if this is the 12 nautical miles is the unit of measurement. So everything, all resources, here is water. So all the resources or property under this 12 nautical miles is also under the rule of Indian government. Okay. So the territorial water of India extend to 12 nautical miles, and 12 nautical miles is equal to what? 22 kilometer. 22.2 kilometer. You may get this question. 12 nautical miles is dash kilometer. So 12 nautical miles is 22.2 kilometer. Okay. In past, what was the material highly demanded by Roman Arabia from India? म्हणजे किती in past India किती trade जाताले with Rome and Arabia. Just remember the country, okay? In Rome and Arabia, Indiaचे किती trade जाताले? So answer for it is Indian spices. Okay. आम्ही trade करताले. Even we were doing trade with Indo-Islamic architecture. We were also doing trade with Asian structural design, Indian spices. But आम्हाला question किती दिला? Only in Rome and Arabia. So Indian spices काय famous आशिल्ले? Rome and Arabia. आता question is असो आयलो. In past, what was the material highly demanded by the world? In past, what is the highly demanded by India? आम्ही country mention करू ना. The answer was all of the above. Okay? अशी याद राहू द्या. आता Goa. Goa is located in the Danish part of India. So India is divided into north, south, east, west. Okay. आता Goa काय बोलता आमचं? Goa बोलता east west part. Okay. Goa is located in the west part of India. Now, Goa share its boundary with Desh. India आमची कंट्रीची आम्हाला बाउंड्री शेअर करतात तसं आमचं गोवा बी बाउंड्री शेअर करतात कोणत्या स्टेटचे आम्हाला कर्नाटक आणि महाराष्ट्र. So गोवा आपली बाउंड्री नॉर्थ आणि पश्चिम शेअर करतात. In north, Goa share its boundary with Maharashtra, and in east, Goa share its boundary with Karnataka, and in west, Goa share its boundary with Arabian Sea. Okay, याद रखले Goa share its boundary with Maharashtra in north, Karnataka in east, Arabian Sea in west. इतना याद रखना. Okay. तो क्वेश्चन आयलो पर. On the west part of Goa, the west part किती असा आणि पहिली सांगा northern Maharashtra, eastern Karnataka आणि western Arabian Sea. So on the west part of Goa there is Arabian Sea. Okay. What is the capital city of Goa? दोडे बोलून आन्सर करा. कोण? ऑप्शन कोण? डायरेक्ट आन्सर. पणजी. डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन. What is the capital city of Goa? सगळ्यांनी याद करून द्या. ऑप्शन कोण? डायरेक्ट आन्सर. पणजी. Okay. आता name the districts of Goa. Goa is divided into two districts. What are they? North Goa and South Goa. Another option बया कोणचं ऑप्शन सॅटिस्फाय करता? So Goa is divided into two districts, North Goa and South Goa. So option D. आता each district तो एक headquarter असा. North Goaचा headquarter पणजी आणि South Goaचा headquarter मडगाव. એટલે याद राखून जाय. गोवाची कॅपिटल सिटी पणजी. गोवा दोन पार्टात डिवाइड झाला. नॉर्थ गोवा आणि साऊथ गोवा. साऊथ गोवाचा हेडक्वार्टर मडगाव आणि नॉर्थ गोवाचा हेडक्वार्टर पणजी. आता क्वेश्चन पहा. व्हॉट इज द हेडक्वार्टर ऑफ साऊथ गोवा? साऊथ गोवाचा हेडक्वार्टर मडगाव. ओके. दुसरो क्वेश्चन. थर्ड दिलेला. मोमेंट तालुकाचा तेरीस बघा. गोवात किती तालुका असतात? 5. सगळ्या घ्या तुम्ही. 6 मिनिट चिपटणे आणि हे नेम द हायेस्ट पॉइंट इन गोवा. डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन. टेक्स्ट बुक रीड केला क्वेश्चन याद उरलो. पण टेक्स्ट बुक रीड करून ते याद उरतो ना. Name the highest point in Goa, Sansogad. Okay. What are the two lifelines of Goa? तर गोवाची दोन लाईफलाईन असतात. म्हणजे त्याच्या खातीर गोवा जगता. So what are the two lifelines of Goa? जुवारी and मांडवी. इथं याद उरून जाय. जुवारी and मांडवी are the lifelines of Goa. आता हा क्वेश्चन त्याला लाईफलाईन कित्याक म्हणतात ते आम्ही लॉंग आन्सर शिकूया. Okay. ओ याद उरून जाय. The standard median passes through dash. मिर्जापूर. हे याद उरून. Okay. The southernmost tip of India mainland is the southern one. India चे सकल किती असा? कन्याकुमारी. And the topmost वय किती असा? लडाख. Southernmost is Kanyakumari, northernmost is Ladakh. With this we complete the MCQ. The MCQ पण डाउट असा. आता तुझा लॉंग आन्सर आम्ही शिफ्ट करूया. Now we will go to wrong answers of India's present location only. Okay. Short answer खातीर आमकां परत म्हणटा you will get all the notes and short answers, suggestion and reading, long answers, MCQ on our app after school. Please follow and you will get all the notes of India's and all the units of history and geography. Okay. Why India is referred to as subcontinent? The India is subcontinent कित्याक म्हणटा? तो क्वेश्चन व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन येऊ शकता. 7 मार्क्सचा युनिट असा. क्वेश्चन येतलो तुमका म्हणजे येऊ शकता और एमसीक्यू येऊ शकता. व्हाय इज इंडिया कॉल्ड सबकॉन्टिनेंट? त्याचे आता दोन पार्ट्स असा. दोन पॉइंट्स आसा तेजे. इंडिया सबकॉन्टिनेंट कित्याक म्हणटा? इंडिया फॉर्म्स द मेजर पार्ट ऑफ एशिया. इंडिया एशियाचा सेकंड लार्जेस्ट कंट्री. इंडिया एशियाची सेकंड लार्जेस्ट आणि वर्ल्डची 7th लार्जेस्ट. So India forms the major part of Asia. एशियाचो सेकंड लार्जेस्ट कंट्री ते तुम्ही ऍड करू शकता. And India has its own natural features like mountains, plateau, rivers, and also you can add deserts. You can also add desert. इथले याद उरूंक जाय. आता तुम्ही पळयता आसतले थोडे कंट्रीज फक्त आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल रशिया. रशियान फक्त स्नो असता. आणि काय करतात डेझर्ट नसता, माउंटन नसता, प्लॅट्यूज नसता. तेका फक्त स्नो असता. दुसरी कंट्री कोण इजिप्त. आता इजिप्तमध्ये फक्त डेझर्ट असता. रिव्हर गावचे ना, मागीर माउंटन्स गावचे ना, प्लॅट्यूज गावचे ना. ते फक्त डेझर्टच गावते. आणि रशियात फक्त स्नो गावते. बट इंडिया इज द ओनली कंट्री थंय तुमका माउंटन्स गावतले, प्लॅटोज बीन गावतले, रिव्हर्स बीन आसा, डेझर्ट बीन आसा. ओके. So पहिली पॉइंट पहिली पॉइंट क्लियर झालं. हे ऍड करून जाय. इंडिया फॉर्म द मेजर पार्ट ऑफ एशिया. इंडिया इज द सेकंड लार्जेस्ट कंट्री इन एशिया. हो पॉइंट याद करून जाय. आणि इट हॅज नॅचरल फीचर्स लाईक it has its own natural feature like mountain, plateau, river, desert. So the point clear. दूसरा point. Its own separate climatic condition, cultural identity, and strategically important location. Okay. Second point किती आपल्याला सांगता तेजे इंडिया तेजो सेपरेट क्लायमॅटिक कंडिशन आसा. इंडियाचो सेपरेट क्लायमॅटिक कंडिशन आसा. म्हणजे की आता आम्ही पळयता आसतले कित्याक आता दुसरी कंट्रीज घ्या युरोपान कंट्री चडशे युरोपियन कंट्रीज फक्त थंडीच असता. विंटर स्नोच पडत आसा थंय. ओके. मी पयले आसतले थंडीच आसा न्ही. आता तुम्ही दुसरी पयले हे पयले साऊदी अरेबिया मागीर इजिप्त थंय फक्त डेझर्ट गरमीच असता. आणि थोडे कंट्रीज पहिले जाल्यार थायलंड, व्हिएतनाम यांचे पावसूच पडटा. पण इंडियाचो सेपरेट क्लायमॅटिक कंडिशन जाता. पावस आमच्या इंडियात पावसूय पडटा, गरमी बी जाता, थंडी बी आसा. ओके. ऑल थ्री क्लायमेट वी हॅव. ओके. सो इंडिया हॅज इट्स ओन क्लायमेट कंडिशन. कल्चरल आयडेंटिटी म्हणजे कितें आमच्या इंडियान डिफरंट कल्चराचे लोक रावता, डिफरंट रिलीजनचे लोक रावता. दुसरे कंट्री पयले तसं एकूच रिलीजन गावतलो. फॉर एक्झाम्पल पयले अफगाणिस्तान फक्त मुस्लिम्स गावतले. There are very less Hindus and Christians. मागीर तुम्ही पळय France Christian गावतले. There are very less Muslims and Hindus. And then if you say Sri Lanka, then सगळे हिंदूच गावतले. Very less Muslims and Muslims and Christians. But India is the only country where we have various people, Muslims, Hindus, Christians, Sikh, okay, and strategically important location. इतले पार्ट याद उरतो. पहिली पार्ट कितें इंडिया इज सेकंड लार्जेस्ट country in Asia. India has its own feature like natural features like mountain, plateau, plains, desert, and rivers. It has a separate climatic condition, cultural identity, and important location. पहिली part clear झालं. वो important question आहे पण माफ करून द्या. आता explain overseas trade relation of India. आता ओव्हरसी म्हणजे कितें ते आम्ही नदीचे वयर करताली. ओव्हर द सी समुद्राचे वयर आम्ही जे ट्रेड करताली तेका आम्ही कितें म्हणटा ओव्हर सी ट्रेड. समुद्राचे वयर आम्ही जे ट्रेड करता तेका आम्ही कितें म्हणटा ओव्हर सी. तो आता आम्ही पळोवया व्हाट इज ओव्हर सी ट्रेड. ओके. इंडिया हॅज टू वॉटर बॉडी. इंडिया कडे दोन वॉटर बॉडी आसा. इन वेस्ट वी हॅव अरेबियन सी and in the east we have Bay of Bengal. इतले याद रावंक जाय. So it is possible to have overseas trade relation. आता तुम्ही कशे याद उरले. India has two water bodies, Arabian Sea in the west, Bay of Bengal in the east. So it is possible to have overseas trade relation. पहिली पॉइंट इतले बरेले चलता. दुसरो पॉइंट ports of India has direct access to African, West Asian and European countries. ओ याद उरले जाय. इंडियाचे जे पोर्ट्स असता नी एट द कोस्टल रिजन इंडियाचे पोर्ट्स असता पळय देट इज डायरेक्ट एक्सेस टू आफ्रिका, वेस्ट एशिया एंड युरोपियन कंट्रीज. हे दोन पॉइंट याद झाले. मागीर तिसरो पॉइंट किती बोलू शकता. ओके. द लॉंग कोस्टलाइन ऑफ इंडिया हैज आल्सो फॅसिलिटेटेड डेव्हलपमेंट ऑफ पोर्ट. म्हणजे आमची इंडियाची लॉंगेस्ट कोस्टलाइन आसा पळय ती आमचे पोर्ट्सचा डेव्हलपमेंटाक हेल्प करता. So 3 point याद रखना है. The question is of overseas trade. किधर बोलते हैं India has two water bodies. In east we have Bay of Bengal, west we have Arabian Sea, and the ports of India have direct relation with Africa, West Asia and European countries. Also the last point you can add, long coastline of India also facilitated development of port. Now, what is the third question? Explain the overland trade relation. म्हणजे किती आहे? पहिले आम्ही काय शिकले ओव्हरसीज म्हणजे समुद्राच्या वर आम्ही ट्रेडिंग करता पण ते शिकले. आता मी ओव्हरलँड आता जमिनीचे आता आम्ही जमिनीचे कसे ट्रेड करता ते बघूया. ओके. You may get the MCQ on this question or you may get question on this question. Okay. India has trading relation with East Africa, Persian Gulf and Southeast Asia. पहिली पॉइंट याद रखना जाए. India has trading relation with East Africa, Persian Gulf and Southeast Asia. वो याद रखना है. This trading relation led to the exchange of different culture and migration of people. Okay. म्हणजे किती hot trading relationship between this Africa, Persian Gulf and Southeast Asia. It led to the exchange of different culture and migration of people. आता different culture चा exchange आता जेव्हा आम्ही दुसऱ्या कंट्रीचे आम्हाला ट्रेड करता आणि दुसरी कंट्री आमच्या आम्हाला ट्रेड करता आमचं कल्चर सुद्धा एक्सचेंज जाता ती आता आमचं कल्चर फॉलो करपाक लागता आणि आम्ही त्यांचं कल्चर फॉलो करपाक जाता. फॉर एक्झाम्पल in past during before independence we Indian people were not used to wearing western clothes. आम्ही किती घालताले आम्ही धोती घालताले गर्ल्स साडी बिन घालून भोवताले. मागीर वेस्टर्न कल्चर आयलो ब्रिटिश आयले आणि ब्रिटिशाचो कल्चर आमी एक्सेप्ट केलो. व्हॉट ती आमी किती घालताले सगळी दे वर वेअरिंग द पॅन्ट शर्ट फ्रॉक्स गाउन. सो वी ऑल्सो स्टार्टेड फॉलोइंग देयर कल्चर. ओके त्यांचो कल्चर आमी फॉलो केलो. कसो फॉलो केलो थ्रू ट्रेडिंग रिलेशन. सो दिस लेड टू द एक्सचेंज ऑफ डिफरंट कल्चर. म्हणजे कल्चर सुद्धा एक्सचेंज जाता. आता दुसरे पॉइंट मायग्रेशन ऑफ पीपल. आता ट्रेडिंग रिलेशन ऑल्सो लीड टू मायग्रेशन ऑफ पीपल. म्हणजे किती मायग्रेशन म्हणजे किती एक कंट्रीचे दुसरे कंट्री पीपल वयता. कित्याक वयता जॉबाचे खातीर वयता म्हणजे किती नॅचरल डिझास्टर जाता न्ही केन्ना अर्थक्वेक येता फ्लड जाता तेन्ना ते पीपल कितें करता एक कंट्रीचे दुसरे कंट्री शिफ्ट जाता. ओके. दॅट इज कॉल्ड मायग्रेशन ऑफ पीपल. आता हो पॉइंट ऍड करू शकता. द स्पाइसेस ऑफ इंडिया वाज डिमांडेड इन रोम एंड अरेबिया. ओके. इतले पॉइंट ऍड केल्यार चलता. ओवर ट्रेड ओवर सी overland trade आम्ही इतले पॉइंट ऍड केला चलो. पहिली पॉइंट किती इंडिया हॅज ट्रेडिंग रिलेशन विथ ईस्ट आफ्रिका, पर्शियन गल्फ एंड साउथ ईस्ट एशिया. एटलीस्ट खंयचे दोन तरी याद करूंक जाय. ओके. मागीर दुसरो किती दिस ट्रेडिंग रिलेशन लेड टू द एक्सचेंज ऑफ डिफरंट कल्चर एंड मायग्रेशन ऑफ पीपल. आय ऑलरेडी टोल्ड डिफरंट कल्चर म्हणजे किती आणि मायग्रेशन ऑफ पीपल म्हणजे किती. त्यानंतर किती द स्पाइसेस ऑफ इंडिया वर डिमांडेड इन रोम एंड अरेबिया. which is the spices were highly demanded where the Rome and Arabia. Next question, market is very important question. This question you will get when you may get this question. Very important question. Everyone mark this question is very important. You have to explain the location of Goa. Explain what is the location of Goa. Remember the word location of Goa. आता पहिली कमेंट बघा किती असा. Goa lies at the west coast of India. पहिले म्हटलं Goa is in the western part of the India. ते याद आहे Goa is in the west part of India. पहिली पॉइंट याद झालं. This region is known as Konkan. पहिले किती Goa is in the west part of India. ते पार्ट किती म्हणतात की Konkan. टोटल लँड एरिया याद करू नका. तुला याद म्हणजे ना किती थोडी मिस्टेक झाल्या तुमचे मार्क्स बसू शकतात. सो डोंट बाय द सेकंड पॉइंट. दुसरे किती बसू शकता तुम्ही. The capital city of Goa is Panaji. Goa is divided into two parts, North Goa and South Goa. Headquarter of North Goa is Panji and headquarter of South Goa is Magellan. Goa has 12 talukas. They add to shaka and Zubani and Mandari are two lifelines of Goa. Okay. What is the first point? Goa is the west part of the India. It is known as Konkan region. which is Goa west part असता आणि ते part किती म्हणतात Konkan. दुसरे किती गोवाची कॅपिटल सिटी किती पणजी. गोवा दोन पार्टात डिवाइड केला. नॉर्थ गोवा आणि साउथ गोवा. नॉर्थ गोवाचं हेडक्वार्टर पणजी, साउथ गोवाचं हेडक्वार्टर मडगाव. Goa has 12 talukas. Also you can add Zuari and Mandali are the two lifetimes of Goa. इथले याद होईल. आता पण नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन आयलो व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट. Oh, I'm going to figure something out. Why Mandavi and Zuari rivers are called lifelines of Goa. Oh, question, Magid is important. You may get this question. Why Mandavi and Zuari are called lifelines of Goa? Mandavi and Zuari are the major river of Goa. Okay, you can add Mandavi and Zuari river are the major. You can also add larger. Okay. Mandavi and Zuari are the major and largest river of Goa. You can add this, write this point there. Mandavi and Zuari river are the largest and the major rivers of Goa. Also, you can continue writing most of the Goa's population, most of the Goa's population is dependent on this river. This river for purpose of drinking water, agricultural activities, etc. So you can add this point, okay, very important. You can frame it like this. Mandavi and Juari river are the major and the largest river of Goa. Most of the Goa's population is dependent on this river for the purpose of drinking water and agricultural activity. म्हणजे किती आहे मांडवी आणि जुवारी या सगळी आमची गोव्याची मेजर आणि वर्ल्डली रिवर आमचो इंडियाचो खूपसो पॉप्युलेशन आसा पण हाव एज रिवराचेर डिपेंडंट आसा किती आहे फॉर ड्रिंकिंग वॉटर आणि एग्रीकल्चर पर्पज. आता दुसरे तुम्ही पॉइंट करू शकता द मोर्मुगाव हार्बर इज वन मोस्ट in the mouth of river Zuari is one of the best harbor in South Asia. इथे ऐकू शकता the Mormugao harbor in the river Zuari is one of the best harbor in South Asia. तीन पॉइंट किती बघितले पहिली पॉइंट किती मंडवी and Zuari are the major and largest river of Goa. म्हणजे ते major and largest चा most of the population of Goa is dependent on this river for drinking water and agricultural activity. Third point किती the Mormugao harbor suffer in the Zuari river तो साउथ एशियाचो एकदम फेमस और एकदम बेस्ट हार्बर बनवू शकता. हे दोन पॉइंट तुम्ही ऍड करू शकता ना. व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन. Explain you what this today. This question, okay. Why there is a difference in time of western and eastern part of the India? आमचो इंडिया आसा पळय तेजे ईस्ट पार्टाक आणि वेस्ट पार्टाक टाइम डिफरंट आसा. तो कित्याक आसा? इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन. मार्क इट इज व्हेरी 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 इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन. व्हेरी 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 इम्पॉर्टंट क्वेश्चन. हो क्वेश्चन तुमचे प्रिपेअरड सिरीज सुद्धा रिपीट झाला आणि मॉडेल पेपर सुद्धा असा तो क्वेश्चन. ओके. व्हाय देयर इज अ डिफरन्स इन टाइम वेस्टर्न ईस्टर्न पार्ट ऑफ इंडिया. आता वेस्ट पार्टान आणि ईस्ट पार्टान कित्याक डिफरन्स आसा ते आमी याद करूया. ओके. Every 15 degree of longitude equals to 1 hour of time difference. India stretches about 30 degree of longitude from west to east. That's roughly 2 hour difference in natural solar time. म्हणजे किती आहे आता पोवेल. This is our world. In here we have somewhere India. And there is a longitude. So see, आम्ही पहिले किती सांगितलं त्यांच्यानी 15 degree of longitude equals to 1 hour. हे पॉइंट आम्ही बोलून घेऊया. 15 degree of longitude is equal to what? 1 hour. Right? 15 degree longitude is equal to 1 hour. Then India stretches about 30 degree of longitude from west to east. Indiaची longitude कितली आसा? यांच्यानी 15 degree longitude for 1 hour. But Indiaची longitude किती आसा? 30 degree longitude. So he 15 degree longitude is 1 hour. 30 degree longitude कितले असते? Can anyone tell me chats? If 15 degree is 1 hour, then 30 degree will be okay. 30 degree will be 2 hours. Very good. 30 degree will be 2 hours. If 15 degree of longitude is 1 hour, then 30 degree will be 2 hours. So there is a roughly of 2 hours difference in time of west and the eastern. Understood now? 15 hours of longitude means 1 hour, but India has a longitude of 30 degree. 15 degree of longitude equals to 1 hour. India has 30 degree of longitude from west to the east. So we have time difference of 2 hours. Okay? Understood? Everyone understood? Okay. Now, importance of India's location. आता क्वेश्चन किती असा? इंडियाचं लोकेशन किती इम्पॉर्टंट असा? की इंडियाचं लोकेशन इम्पॉर्टंट किती आहे? आम्ही काय शिकला? इंडिया इज द सेव्हन्थ लार्जेस्ट कंट्री इन वर्ल्ड. इंडिया इज सेकंड लार्जेस्ट कंट्री इन एशिया. हो पार्ट तुम्ही ऍड करू शकता. बोलू शकता इंडिया इज सेव्हन्थ लार्जेस्ट कंट्री इन वर्ल्ड. इंडिया इज सेकंड लार्जेस्ट कंट्री इन एशिया. हो पार्ट तुम्ही ऍड करू शकता. दुसरं किती बघता मी act as a link between East Asia, Southeast Asia, Central Asia, and Middle East. Or point 8 हो सकता. India act as a link between East Asia, Southeast Asia, Central Asia, and Middle East. Okay. Sea trade route connecting Europe, Africa, East Asia via the Indian Ocean. Through Indian Ocean, we can connect to Europe, Africa, and East Asia. So India is also rich in natural resources and diverse climate, which supports agriculture and industries. This you can add. And also, India is famous for spices and textile. You can add these many points if the question come. Explain the importance of India's location. India is the seventh largest country in the world. India is second largest country in Asia. Okay. Indian Ocean connects to Europe, Africa, and East Asia. Okay, Indian Ocean connects to Europe, Africa, and East Asia. Then India is also rich in natural resources and in very diverse climate, which supports agriculture and industry. म्हणजे किती इंडियाचे खूप रिसोर्सेस असतात आणि त्याचं क्लायमेट एकदम सुटेबल असतं फॉर एग्रीकल्चर अँड इंडस्ट्री. And India also has various spices and textile. These points we can include. Now, this question is already explained. This question also explain why the time difference of 2 hours in local time between Arunachal Pradesh and Gujarat. You can write this answer only. Answer किती आहे? 15 degree of longitude equals to 1 hour. म्हणजे 15 degree longitude असता. तिचं इक्वल किती असता? 1 hour. इंडियाची longitude किती असता? 30 degree longitude. म्हणजे time difference किती असता? 2 hours. Okay. Again, I am telling this answer. 15 degree of longitude is equal to 1 hour. But आमची इंडियाची longitude किती असा? 30 degree longitude from west to east. That's why we are having time difference of 2 hours. Okay. Now, how India's location divides India into two parts. आता इंडिया आम्ही पहिले असताना दोन पार्टांत डिवाइड झाला. And which line divides India into two parts? Can you tell me the comment section? Which line divides India into two parts? Fast. Which line divides India into two parts? Don't know the answer. Which line divides India into two parts? Very good. Tropic of Cancer. Tropic of Cancer divides India into two parts. And which is the line that divides Earth into two parts? Which is the line that divides Earth into two parts? I'm telling which is the line that divides Earth into two parts. Earth. Equator. Very good. Line that divides India into two parts is Tropic of Cancer. Line that divides Earth into two parts is Equator. Very good. आता how this Tropic of Cancer म्हणजे किती आहे? How India's location divided into two parts. India दोन पार्टात कसे डिवाइड केला ते पाहूया. Culturally, India's size and diverse climate support wide variety of crop, lifestyle and tradition. म्हणजे किती आहे? पहिली पॉइंट तुम्ही किती बोलू शकता? India is divided through variety of crops, lifestyle and tradition. ओ पॉइंट बोलू शकता. इथला वर्ल्ड कपची गरज असे बोलू शकता. India is divided through variety of crops, lifestyle and tradition. म्हणजे किती नॉर्थ साइड दुसरे क्रॉप्स ग्रो जातात. म्हणजे नॉर्थ साइड चडशे किती ग्रो जातात? feet. So what's your wheat khadani, chapati, paratha, north side. But in south, mostly rice is grown. Why? Because we eat rice in south. Then lifestyle. The lifestyle of people in north is different, and lifestyle of people in south is different. Why? In north they speak some other language, not other languages. They live the other language. Right? त्यांचे कपडे घालून तरीको, त्याचे रावपाचो तरीको, परंपरा different असा. In south त्यांचो रावपाचो तरीको, रावपाची परंपरा different असा. But it is divided into crops and lifestyle. And the tradition, how tradition divided different the northern part celebrates a different festival. There are different festivals like Karwa Chauth, Chhath Puja. These are all the festivals we celebrate in the northern side of India. But in south side festival celebrate करतात ना. South and we festival celebrate करतात Pongal, then Onam. These are some festival we celebrate in south. Okay, so you can write India is divided through variety of crops, lifestyle, and tradition. You can give any example which I gave. Like I told about the festivals, I told about the lifestyle, so I told about the crops. Now the coastal area. Don't write the coastal area, right? So southern area. Southern area. Okay? Southern area have fishing based culture. The southern part, India's southern part of the the fishing. So they are fishing based culture. Southern part and fishing करतात. And northern part is on agriculture. Okay? Southern part is on fishing culture, northern part is on agriculture. Now, this also it divides India to India is also divided into linguistic, forget linguistic like languages and cultural variety. You can just write, don't write it, don't need to write everything. It's just like India is also divided through languages. Now you can write what are the languages spoken in northern side and what are the languages spoken in southern side. In northern side, especially, mostly we have states over there speak Hindi or Punjabi, okay? And but in south, we speak languages like Tamil, Telugu, Kannada, okay? Understood what you have to write? If the question comes, how India's location is divided into two parts. What will be the first part you will be writing? India is divided through various crop, lifestyle, and tradition. Second part will be southern is fishing based culture, northern is agriculture. And it is also divided through languages. You can give example. In northern part, which language is spoken? Hindi and Punjabi. Whereas in southern part, we speak Kannada, Telugu, or Malayalam. Okay. आता दुसरा क्वेश्चन हाउ गोवा's location is important for India. आता गोवाचं पहिल्यांदा किती शिकले एक्सप्लेन द लोकेशन ऑफ गोवा म्हणजे तुम्ही आम्ही किती ऍड करता गोवाचं लोकेशन गोवा इज द बेस्ट पार्ट ते बेस्ट आम्ही किती ते पार्ट आम्ही किती म्हणता कोंकण गोवाचं कॅपिटल सिटी किती पणजी Goa has two lifelines of rivers, Zuari and Mandavi. Goa is divided into two parts, north and south. North part is headquarter Panji, south part is headquarter Morgaon. That part we have. आता नवीन क्वेश्चन how Goa's location is important from India. आता गोवा इंडिया कसो इम्पॉर्टंट असा आता गोवा इंडिया किती दिता कित्याक इम्पॉर्टंट असा ते आम्ही पळोवया ओके पहिले किती सांगता it is a location advantages for maritime trade and naval activities okay you can write this as its location is important for sea trade and naval activities. You can write this first point as like this. Its location is important for sea trade and naval activities. Then you can add Goa is one of the India's most famous tourist destination, attracting millions of domestic and international tourist every year. तुका सगळ्यांक खबर आसा गोवा खातीर खूप फेमस आसा सगळ्यांक खबर आसतले everyone we get millions of tourists from domestic and international. Domestic म्हणजे कितें the tourists from our country only आणि international म्हणजे कितें भायरचे लोक येतात international. So first part झालं second म्हणजे Goa is famous destination of tourists. We have lot millions of tourists coming from domestic and international. Goa is known for its beaches, churches, temples, nightlife, and festivals. तुका सगळ्यांक खबर आसतले गोवा इज फेमस फॉर बीचेस खूप सारे फेमस बीचेस आसा मिरामार बीच Kalangur Beach, Baina Beach, Arambol Beach. Okay? Arambol Beach wala खबर असतले. Then churches, temples, nightlife, and festival. Okay? Understood? How to write? Now, in Goa, we also do the agriculture of cashew, coconut, and rice. Also, there is iron ore mining. This point also you can add. Now, you can also add fishing is another important. Fishing is important livelihood. Again, there is another. Fishing is important livelihood. Don't like this. Just like fishing is important. So, if the question comes, how Goa's location is important for India? First point what we will add. India's location is important for sea trade and naval activities. म्हणजे sea trade असे खातीर naval activities important आसा. गोवा टुरिस्टांचे खातीर खूप फेमस आसा. Every year आमचे गोवा millions of tourists येता from domestic borderline international tourists also. Goa is famous for its beaches, temples, churches, nightlife, festivals, etc. Goa आणि cashew, coconut, rice साठी agriculture करता आणि iron ore ची mining करता. So कितें fishing is also an important livelihood. इतले याद उरले सगळे. Okay, clear now everyone? Now, what benefit Goa is getting from Konkan region? Okay, don't skip this question. Don't need to focus on this question. Now, आता आम्ही शिकले location of Goa शिकलो आणि India's location आम्ही शिकले. आता आम्ही शिकले how Goa is important for India ते शिकले. आता आम्ही शिकले importance of India's location in world. आता आम्ही शिकले why Goa is important for India. आता आम्ही शिकले why India is important for the world. Okay? Start करूया. India acts as a hub for IT services, manufacturing, and exports. We can add this point. You can just write act as a hub for IT services, manufacturing, and export. India खूपशे IT services असा. IT म्हणजे information technology, manufacturing industries असा आमचे India, आणि India is famous for exporting. The central position also allow India connects with Africa, Southeast Asia, and Middle East. Okay. Silk Route and maritime trade is also famous in India. Okay, this part you can add in this special come. First point you will add India is famous for IT sectors, manufacturing and export. Second, India connects with Africa, Southeast Asia and Middle East. And third, with the Silk Route and maritime trade route is also famous in India. This point everyone they are till here. With this, we clear two lessons. Now, should we move to another unit? Okay, we are going to move on another unit. So now, let's take one unit from history. एक economics झालो, एक geography झालो, एक history चा unit. Okay, let us take unit. What unit should we take? Let us take. Geographical exploration. Let us take MCQs first. हमें MCQs revise करें और geographical exploration. First we'll take geographical exploration, then we'll move to some other units. Okay. Which was the main route in medieval period joining east and west? Which was the route which was joining east and west? It was Mediterranean and Baltic Sea. So answer for it is both A and B. Okay, we'll do Sindhu Saraswat also. After this, completing this, we will move to Sindhu Saraswat civilization. Okay. Then Turks defeated the ruler of the Byzantine Empire and conquered. After Turks defeated the Byzantine Empire, they conquered Constantinople. Okay, Constantinople. Now, these books are not important. Don't focus on them. Okay. Who gave financial assistance to the voyages of discoveries and exploration? Now, when the Europeans were doing exploration, who helped them with the financial assistance? So it was royal families of पोर्चुगल अँड स्पेन. आता कन्फ्युज करपाक पोर्चुगल आणि फ्रान्स सुद्धा देऊ शकता, स्पेन आणि फ्रान्स देऊ शकता, इंडिया आणि श्रीलंका देऊ शकता. So answer is Portugal and Spain. Okay. Which were the first European countries to take lead in the discovery of sea route? So which were the European country who took the responsibility of discovering new sea route to India? It was Portugal and Spain. Who founded the first school in Zagreb? So who founded the first school in Zagreb? So it was Prince Henry. The answer is over here. Prince Henry who founded the first school in Zagreb when he taught the exploration sailor how to do sailor exploration. Okay. Why Bartholomew Dias named Southern Africa coast as Cape of Trump? So Bartholomew Dias, you all know he reached the southern tip of Southern Africa. Now he named it as Cape of Storm. So why he named it Cape of Storm? Because while doing his exploration, he received one such storm in between. While जेन्ना तो discovery करतालो नी explorationची तेन्ना तेका मदीत एक storm गावलो. So तेणे कितें केलें साउथर्न टिप ऑफ आफ्रिकाचें नांव जालें कितें Cape of Storms. Okay. After completing this 1 minute, we will take a break. Okay. Now. So, who renamed the Cape of Storm to Cape of Good Hope? So, you all know Cape of Storm was later named Cape of Good Hope. Cape of Storm चे नाव परत चेंज करून Cape of Good Hope झाले. So, कोणे केले ते? So, can you tell me who named the Cape of Storm as Cape of Good Hope? Can anyone tell who named the Cape of Storm as Cape of Good Hope? Cape of Storm चं नाव चेंज करून Cape of Good Hope कोणे झालं? Can anyone tell? Very good. Vasco da Gama. Vasco da Gama changed the name of Cape of Storm to Cape of Good Hope. Good Hope. Good Hope. Okay. Now, why he changed? The question came. Why Cape of Storm was a change. Vasco da Gama now change करून Cape of Good Hope. कित्याक केलं? कित्याक it gave good hope to the navigators to sail further. Means कितें तो सेल करपाक येताली न्ही एक्सप्लोरेशन करपाक लोकां येताली पळय तेंका तो गुड होप दितालो नवो होप दितालो की फुडें ट्रॅव्हल करू शकता तेजे खातीर तेणे कितें दिलें तुमचें नाव गुड होप. In which year did Vasco da Gama landed at Calicut? 1498. Very important this question. Everyone should remember this. Okay, 1498. Christopher Columbus was from which city? Christopher Columbus was from Genoa. What did Columbus discover? What did Columbus discover? Columbus discovered American continent. Ferdinand Magellan saw new ocean and named it Pacific. Ferdinand Magellan discovered Pacific Ocean and he named it Pacific. Okay? After crossing Pacific Ocean, Ferdinand Magellan reached to which island? He reached to Philippine Island. Okay. Why did King Henry VII of England employ John Cabot? So King Henry VII आशिल्लो पळय ताणें John Cabot केलो अपॉइंट केलो आनी कित्याक अपॉइंट केलो ताका to sail the northwest to India and China. He brought him to sail through India and China to visit the route of India and China. What item did European imported from Asia? European Asia कितें import करताले spices. Okay. Okay. Triangular slave trade was between which three countries? So there was a triangular slave. म्हणजे कितें? Triangular means triangle. Everyone knows triangular means triangle. So there was a triangular slave trade. What is slave trade? Can anyone tell me what is slave trade? Can anyone try what is slave trade? What is slave trade? What is slave trade? Can anyone tell? Very good. Slave trade is also known as labor trade. It was a trade of labor. Okay. Slave trade means trade of labor. Okay. Trading of poor people is also right answer. So there was a slave trade, म्हणजे लोकांचा trade जातालो. Slave trade between three countries. triangular सांगला ना, of course 3 countries. So it was between Europe, Africa, and America. So to remember, okay, there was slave trade between Europe, Africa, and America. Okay, याद रखना थोड़े. Okay, which of the following was the Asian Chinese invention? Okay, so there was various invention that was used for geographical exploration. These all were the elements that was used. हे सगळे use जाताले geographical exploration साठी. So which of the following was Chinese invention? Mariner's compass. Mariner's compass was the Chinese invention. Okay. What did John Cabot discover? So John Cabot discovered the Cape of Britain. Okay. Vasco da Gama was from which? Okay. This answer is for you all. Okay. Vasco da Gama is from which country? Vasco da Gama was from which country? Can anyone tell? Fast. Jaldi begin. Begin, Sanga. Vasco da Gama was from which country? Very good, Mayank. Very good, Yuta. It is from Portugal. Very good, Sanju. Very good, everyone. The answer is Portugal. Let's move on to the long answers of this unit. Okay. Why was it important to discover new sea routes from Europe and Asia? आता आपण Europeans were finding new sea route. आता land route they were not using land route. आता they were finding new sea route. आता new sea route they find करताले to Asia. आता कित्याक they find करताले new sea route? पहिली, in the year 1453, Turks defeated the ruler of Byzantine Empire and conquered the Constantinople. They closed the land route to Asia. Means what they did before 1453, Europe was having trade with Asia through Constantinople, but after 1453, Turks defeated the ruler of Byzantine Empire and they conquered the Constantinople and they disclosed that road. म्हणजे त्यांचे तो road बंद केला. Okay, so त्यांचा main route आशिल्लो नी from Europe to Asia travel करपाचो त्यांचा main route आशिल्लो नी. After conquering in 1453, कॉन्स्टँटिनोपल आशिल्लो तो ते रुटाचेर ते ट्रॅव्हल करताले पण तेजेन कितें केलें ते रूट बंद केलो फॉर ट्रॅव्हलिंग द लँड रूट ओके क्लोज केलो कॉन्स्टँटिनोपल वॉज द सेंटर ऑफ ऑल लँड रूट्स फ्रॉम युरोप एंड एशिया हांवें ते पयलीं सांगलें तुमकां कॉन्स्टँटिनोपल वॉज द रूट फ्रॉम युरोप एंड एशिया तो रूट आशिल्लो ते युरोपाचे ट्रेडर्स एशिया घेताले आनी एशियाचे ट्रेडर्स युरोपात वयताले ओके पण मागीर टर्क्सान कितें केलें तो बंद केलो रूट आफ्टर द विक्ट्री ऑफ टर्क्स दिस केम अंडर control of Ottoman Turks. But Turks, तेंच्यांनी जिंकले then, and the Constantinople came under the hands of Ottoman Turks. So there was a need to find discover of new sea route which would be safer, convenient, and not under the control of any power. म्हणजे आता कितें जालें पयलीं तेंचेकडे कॉन्स्टँटिनोपल आशिल्लो तो तेंचो मेन लँड रूट आशिल्लो फॉर युरोप एंड एशिया टू डू ट्रेडिंग बट आफ्टर टर्क्स डिफीटेड द बायझंटाइन एम्पायर तेंच्यांनी कितें केलो तो रूट बंद केलो. They were not allowing Europe people to go Asia and Asia people to go Europe. आता तो बंद केलो तेचे आता ते कशी ट्रेड करता तेका रिझन जाय न्ही सो तेंच्यांनी कितें केलें they started finding new sea routes okay which will be safer and sea route is compared is safer as compared to land route. Now why sea route is compared safer to land route? Because why in land route there can be chances of theft or loot, there can be some people coming and starting looting your okay but in sea route there is no such convention and convenient means what land route will take a million of hundreds of years okay land route have been taking lots of years but sea route was comparatively easy and not under the control of any power. Now land route ke jata एजे रुलान आसा फाल्यां तो दुसऱ्याच्या रुलान आसतलो आणि he may not allow to trade okay but sea route is no one anyone's control anyone can travel to sea route okay. Now why the European was compared to find new sea route to east. Now Europeans were finding new sea route to east. Europeans had information about the wealth म्हणजे क्वेश्चन किती Europeans are east सी फावनाची ती इम्पॉर्टंट कित्याक आशिल्ली तेंका इतली ही आशिल्ली म्हणजे कितें तेका एक्साइटमेंट आशिल्ली दे वर व्हेरी इंटरेस्टेड फाइंड न्यू सी रूट टू ईस्ट आता तेका तो इंटरेस्ट कित्याक आशिल्लो पळोवया Europeans had information about the wealth of eastern countries through various records written by earlier travelers. म्हणजे कितें युरोपियन्सांकडे मध्ये कितें आसलो तेंचे कडेन इन्फॉर्मेशन आशिल्ली कितें इन्फॉर्मेशन आशिल्ली की ती ईस्टर्न कंट्रीज आसा न्ही तेंचे कडेन खूबशे वेल्थ आसा the European countries had information that eastern countries has पैसे तेंचे कडेन खूब आसा वेल्थ तेंचे कडेन खूब पैसे ट्रेडिंग एक्टिविटीज खूब आसा तेंका कशें कळलें तें रिटर्न बाय अर्लियर ट्रॅव्हल पयलींचे ट्रॅव्हलर्स आशिल्ले पयलीं ट्रॅव्हल करताले ते बरोवन धरताले तेंका तेंचे कडेन इन्फॉर्मेशन गावली की ईस्टर्न पीपल हॅज मोर वेल्थ सो युरोपान वॉज द वन ऑफ फर्स्ट रीजन वॉज this the European was very excited or very interested finding the new sea route to east. The visit of Marco Polo to the court of Kublai Khan in China and bringing back the precious stones from the empire made the European traders dream of wealth. So Marco Polo किती केलं? He visited the court of Kublai Khan. Marco Polo Kublai Khan so court visit करपाक गेलो in China. थंयच्यान तेणे किती हाडले? Precious stones हाडले. So the precious stone पळोवन युरोपान काडलो अरे बाबा यांच्याकडे आता किती खूपशे आणि वेल्थ आशिल्ले तेंच्याकडे इतले स्टोन्स आसा इतले पैसे आसा तो they will be having more wealth पयलीं कितें जालो they were having information that eastern countries have more wealth through written documents by the earlier days second year Marco Polo visited the kingdom of Kublai Khan where he got the precious stone they has more wealth. Third point is there, the rich people in Europe had developed a taste of luxurious food from Asia. Silk from China and cotton goods and precious stones from India. This silk, cotton goods, precious stones was traded from India to this Europe. So European people were very having the taste of luxurious food. They were very used to wearing all these cotton, silk clothes and precious stone. So तेंका सवय झाली ती घालपाची कपडे घालपाची सवय झाली. So they were very interested. This was one of the reason they were interested. Okay. Now they were inspired to sail into the unknown, discovered and undiscovered. Okay, forget this. Remember the first 3 points. What is the first point? The European countries had the information about the wealth of European countries through written documents by earlier travelers. What is the second? Marco Polo visited the kingdom of Kublai Khan. There, what he did, he got a precious stone. So Europeans wealth. And third is the European country had developed the taste of luxurious food from Eastern countries like silk from China, precious stones and cotton goods from India. Okay. Now, what are the navigational aids and other tools used by sailors for the navigation? Mark, this is important. Everyone, mark, this is important. Okay. What are the navigational aids and other tools used by sailors for the navigation? आता खूपशे navigational aids and other tools आशिल्ले which were used by sailors to do their exploration. So what were they? First, books such as Merchant's Handbook, then Geography. You can write books such as Merchant's Handbook and Geography. This was the one point you can add. Then the mariner's compass was a Chinese invention. It provided direction to the sailor. First will be the books like Merchant's Handbook and Geography. Second will be the mariner's compass, which was a Chinese invention, which provide direction to the sailor. Astrolabe was an astronomical. Okay, astrolabe was used to measure the position of stars and planets. Okay, astrolabe was used to measure the position of stars and planets. Also, the knowledge of shipbuilding and art of making. So, what are the 4 reasons or the 4 navigational aids used by sailors for geographical exploration? First will be the Merchant's Handbook and Geography. Second one will be the The mariners compass, which is a Chinese invention, will provide direction. Third will be the astrolabe, which provides the position of stars and planets. And fourth will be the ship knowledge of shipbuilding and art of map making. Okay. Okay. Now one more question is there. Geographical exploration would have not been possible without Portugal and Spain. And I give reasons. Geographical exploration of the world, it was not possible because without Portugal and Spain. Why it was not possible without Spain and Portugal? So answer for it is Portugal and Spain were the first European countries to take lead in the story of sea route. Understood? Portugal and the Spain were the only two countries, first two countries who took initiative. ती कळली अशी पहिली दोन कंट्री कोण असली पोर्तुगल and Spain who took responsibility of finding new sea route. Okay. Second, the royal families of Portugal and Spain gave financial assistance. 2 point you can add in this. Portugal and Spain were the first country in finding the geographical exploration. The royal families of Portugal and Spain gave financial assistance. Okay. Okay, all the those who are asking for PDF, you will get PDF in after school app. You can search on your mobile phone, and there you can get all the notes of this video. Okay. Now, how did Prince Henry contributed to geographical contribution? You all know Prince Henry started building he built the first school for sailor. Where did he build the first school? Fast, begin answer kara. Where did King Henry build the first school for navigators? Very good, Segres. Okay, he built the first school in Segres. You have other and reading you will find in this app. Okay. Okay. Now, how did Prince Henry contribute to geographical contribution? Prince Henry, as the navigator, founded the first school for seamen at Segre. We can write as Prince Henry, as the navigator, founded the first school for navigators at Segre. म्हणजे किती आहे Prince Henry पहिली school found केली काय at Segre. He provided every possible help and encouragement to the youth. He provided help केली त्यांच्या त्यांना help केली कसे geography exploration करपाचे आणि त्यांना encourage केलं की तू कर आता profit घ्यावं trade घ्यावं okay like this how they will they are going to help. Annual expedition of organized export coast of Africa for the purpose he called. Okay. He called various geographers, sailors, and ship designers. Okay, to teach the navigator. Okay, he called various geographers, sailors, and ship designers to make understand. शिकोवपाक आणि कितें हाडलें geographer, sailor, and ship designer. He improved the sailing ship caravel, which was capable of like this. He explored several islands on the west coast of Africa and claimed he discovered various islands on the west coast of Africa. The explorer had access to navigational aids such as mariner's compass. What is the first point? How did King Henry help, or how did King Henry contribute to the geographical exploration? First will be he built the first school for navigators in Segre. Second, he provided every help and encouraged people to do the geographical exploration. Third will be he called geographers, sailors, and shipbuilders to teach the navigators. And fourth will be he founded various islands on west coast of Africa. Okay, इतलं याद राहून जाय सगळ्याक. Why and how Vasco da Gama traveled to India? Vasco da Gama landed at Calicut on the west coast of India in the year 1498. Okay, first point will be Vasco da Gama landed at Calicut in 1498. He met the ruler of Calicut, Zamorin, and took permission to do trade. You can add yes second. He took the permission from the ruler of Calicut, Zamorin, and for the permission of trade, and took permission of the trade. He returned to Portugal with spices and precious stones, and thus began the trade with India. Okay. First point will be Vasco da Gama landed at Calicut in 1498, where he met the ruler of Calicut, that was Zamorin, where he took permission of trade. He brought spices and precious stones from India and started doing trade with India. Okay? कळलं ना part? आता दुसरं. How did Christopher Columbus discover new continent of America? आता Christopher Columbus discovered new continent of America. How he discovered? Columbus was an Italian sailor. This question is asked in your model paper. Okay, remember that. Columbus was an Italian sailor. Sailed on 23rd August 1492 to reach far east. Okay. After a long and dangerous voyage, on 12th October 1492, he landed on the island that he believed to be India. Columbus named the native of that island as India. He discovered Caribbean Sea, Venezuela, and Central America. So what happened, you know? The Christopher Columbus was an Italian sailor. तो एक इटालियन सेलर होता त्याने आपली जॉग्राफिकल एक्सप्रेशन केन्ना स्टार्ट केली 23rd August 1492 त्याने आपली जॉग्राफिकल एक्सप्रेशन स्टार्ट केली and after a long discovery long exploration and a dangerous exploration finally on 12th October 1492 he landed on the island तो एक island आयलो केन्ना आयलो तो then start केन्ना केले 23rd August 1492 and when he landed 12th October 1492 and त्याने ते किती तो लावलो तेका किती दिसले this is India he thought he have found India but actually India find करू ना त्याने अमेरिका फाइंड केले तेका किती दिसले it was India हेचे लोक असलेली त्याने कोलंबस named the native of the people island the Indians he named the people the natives of the area as Indians because he thought he have discovered India but actually what he discovered America okay yes I will give you a break after completing this unit okay he also discovered Caribbean Sea Venezuela and Central America okay later it was realized altogether new continent of Africa so now next question how did America got his name okay okay now what is the question how did America got his name finally America to name America कसो गावलो America to name अशें but as America तेका कसो पडलो तो ना पहिली question an Italian sailor named Amerigo Vespucci made several voyages after 1497 okay so Amerigo Vespucci was the sailor was an Italian sailor who made various discoveries okay after 1497 after 1497 Amerigo Vespucci made various discoveries various exploration he was an Italian sailor he supplied geographical details about the land and its people discovered by him so general discovery करतालो नी तो तेका geographical details दिले किते गावले मदी तेणे किते पयले where he saw mountains and also you should tell about the people he saw he recognized it all together as new world so whatever land he founded he named them as new world and this continent was named as America in his honor म्हणजे त्याचे नावान अमेरिका नाव पडलो America got his name in the honor of Amerigo Vespucci पहिली किती he was an Italian sailor he made various discoveries geographical exploration after 1497 when he used to land on place he used to give them geographical information also about the people he discovered later he recognized them the land he discovered he named them as a new world and America got his name in the honor of Amerigo Vespucci now write a short note on Ferdinand Magellan discovery so now Ferdinand Magellan also started discovering okay? Ferdinand Magellan sailed from Spain with 5 ships in September 1519. म्हणजे Ferdinand Magellan started was a he started his sailing from Spain. Okay, he started his sailing from Spain with 5 ships. He started sailing from Spain with 5 ships. Then he discovered Atlantic and rounded by South America and saw new ocean. He named it as Pacific Ocean. So he crossed the Atlantic Ocean, and after crossing the South America, he came to new ocean and he named that ocean as God Pacific Ocean. Okay, he sailed across Pacific Ocean and landed on Philippine Island. Okay, Philippine Island. So what understood? म्हणजे कितें ही अटलांटिक ओशन क्रॉस करून आयलो तेणे क्रॉस करून आफ्टर क्रॉसिंग साउथ अमेरिका तो एक न्यू ओशनाक पावलो आणि ते ओशनाचें नाव कितें जालें पॅसिफिक ओशन आणि ते पॅसिफिक ओशन क्रॉस करून ही केम एट फिलिपीन आयलैंड ओके मेगालन लॉस्ट हिज लाइफ इन अ फाइट विथ द नेटिव्स ऑफ फिलिपीन आयलैंड सो व्हेन तेन्ना तो पावलो फिलिपीन आयलैंडार तेंची एक फाइट जाली and Ferdinand Magellan was killed in that fight. He lost his life. Melo, the natives of Island killed him. Okay. On 27th April 1521, out of 5 ships, only Victoria reached the Savannah Harbor and returned to Cape of Good Hope back to the Europe. Okay. आता आम्ही कॉन्सेप्ट रीड केला आता अंडरस्टँड करू पहिली कितें फर्डिनांड मेगालन वॉज अ स्पेन ही वॉज फ्रॉम स्पेन तेणे आपली कितें सेलिंग म्हणजे स्टार्ट केली स्पेनचे he took 5 ships and he started sailing. And after crossing the Atlantic Ocean from South America, he reached to New Ocean. South America cross करून Atlantic Ocean, South America cross करून तो New Ocean पावलो. आणि ते ओशनाचे नाव काय धरलेले Pacific Ocean. आणि Pacific Ocean तो फिलिपीन आयलँडार पावलो. थंय पावून तिची झगडी जाली. He had a fight with the natives of Philippines. त्यांच्या लोकांच्या भितर झगडी जाली. आणि he lost his life. म्हणजे तो मेलो. आणि बाकी ते on 27th April 1521, out of 5 ships, only Victoria reached the Cape of Good Hope and back to the Europe. म्हणजे तिथे 5 ships घेऊन गेलो न्ही तो तर 5 ships चे एकूच शिप परत आयली केप ऑफ गुड होप मध्ये रावली केप ऑफ गुड होप लेटर ट्रॅव्हल टू युरोप ओके now why did King Henry VII of England employ John Cabot? Or how did England assert its claim over the mainland of North America? So first to understand why King Henry, you all know King Henry has employed John Cabot. So why was John Cabot employed? Can anyone tell? Why was John Cabot employed? Why was he employed? Fast. Why John Cabot was employed? Very good. To sail through northwest. Okay. Now, in 1457, King Henry VII employed an Italian from Genoa and named King John Cabot. Okay. So what he did, he employed King Henry employed an Italian sailor. Italian sailor employed केलो. तिचे नाव कितें आशिल्लें जॉन केबोट. तेणें कितें एम्प्लॉय केलो टू सेल फ्रॉम नॉर्थ वेस्ट रूट टू चायना एंड इंडिया टू नॉर्थ वेस्ट सेलाक रूट करून चायना आनी इंडिया पावून तेणें तेका एम्प्लॉय केलो ही क्रॉस द अटलांटिक एंड रीच द नॉर्थ ईस्ट ऑफ नॉर्थ अमेरिका एंड डिस्कवर द केप ऑफ ब्रिटन जॉन केबोटाकडे कितें पयलें टू गो थ्रू नॉर्थ वेस्ट एंड फाइंड द China and India, new sea route to China and India. But he crossed Atlantic Ocean into खंय पावलो North America and it is now in the Cape of Britain. This enabled England to claim over the mainland of North America. मागीर हांगाचे तो इंग्लंडाचो अमेरिकाचे रूल स्टार्ट जाला. What was the impact of geographical exploration? At the geographical exploration झालो, people were finding new sea routes. Okay, land route was closed, turks started defeating, Constantinople was closed down. Sea routes were finding. Why? What was the importance, significance किती झालं त्याचं? European focused at increasing the country's export as much as possible and decreasing import as much as possible so that they could make maximum profit. पहिली जो किती झालं reason, पहिली impact किती झालं? European started increasing their export and decreasing the imports. Okay, What was the first thing? They started increasing the export and decreasing the import. So they will get maximum profit. त्यांच्यानी आपलं export जो आशिल्लो पळय तो वाडयलो आणि आपले imports कमी केले. तर तेका कितें गावलो profit. Okay? And then the geographical exploration led to colonialism. Okay? म्हणजे कितें जेन्ना geographical exploration करपाक ती जाली पयली कितें केताली ती exploration करपाक पयली ट्रेड करपाक येताली मागीर ट्रेड करून करून तेका पॉलिटिकल इंटरेस्ट येतालो म्हणजे तेका कंट्रोल करपाक इंटरेस्ट येतालो they started colonialism. Okay, they started having the political control. Now emergence of slave trade, as you all told slave trade means labor trade. They used to treat the native of that land as slave. Okay, destroying the Western culture. The European countries they started destroying the Western culture. Why they started destroying the Western culture? Because they wanted other countries to follow their culture only. Okay, so we are about to finish. Okay, so what is the first impact of geographical exploration? What is the first point? Geographical exploration. So कितें जाल्लो to increase the import and decrease the export. Increase the export and decrease the import. कित्याक तेका profit जाय आशिल्लो. Second कितें आशिल्लें जेन्ना ते geographical exploration करता पयली ट्रेडाचे खातीर करता मागीर हळू हळू करून तेका कितें जाता political control येता तेजेर. मागीर emergence of slave trade. They started treating the people as their slave. मागीर destroying the Western culture. They wanted to destroy the Western culture because तेका कितें जाय आशिल्लो the people of the other land should follow their culture, spread Christianity. Okay, they wanted them to follow Christianity. Okay, we'll take a break and we'll come after some silence. Okay.
Break. So guys, we are taking a break, short tea break. Okay, you can go and have tea. ईद घ्या आणि किती घेऊ नका झोपास आहे परत सो घ्या तुम्ही आणि सारखे 5:30 आम्ही परत स्टार्ट करी ओके द लाईफ विल बी ऑन ओनली सो यू कॅन जस्ट लीव अँड जॉइन अगेन ॲट 5:30 वेरी पुट Okay, what did you do? Just to clear all the yeah, we just write that they can come on that. It's right here. 30 minutes break. Class resumes at 5:30. मैं क्लास का जाऊँ। क्लास में। तू रेस्ट कर।